The Yamaha Gen 1, Gen 2 and Gen 3 differentials all have an oil feed system which feeds oil in between the outer and inner pinion bearings, keeps these lubricated. Without an oil feed system here, the inner bearing becomes an oil block and stops the oil making its way to the outer bearing. These outer bearings can get very hot and melt. So it's very critical that every diff have some sort of oil feed systems, and we're seeing a lot of differentials in the side-by-side market and some of our competitors that have produced differentials without an oil feed. Our Gen 2 and Gen 3 differentials for the Yamaha have a very unique and patented oil delivery system where we have an oil pump delivering the diff oil from the centre of the case down into a cavity into the pinion carrier, which lubricates both the outer and the inner pinion bearings. Right down here in the centre here we have, again, this is another patented product, we have an oil jet which actually restricts the amount of flow that's being fed to those pinion bearings. Now customers can actually remove the jet and change the size of that jet, which will change the amount of oil that goes to these bearings. So high-speed applications, we can reduce the amount of oil to the bearings to reduce the heat build-up. Low-speed drag race applications, we can put a bit more oil in there, keep them a bit more lubricated. So again, it's a very unique feature, pretty cool to have an oil pump with a restrictor built into the oil feed on the Yamaha differentials. So we spoke about the oil pump, we spoke about the oil feed restrictor, both of them patented. We also have, from 15 years of experience, an oil level control system. If you flood any pinion bearing on any differential or any bearing on any vehicle, whether it be a gearbox or a wheel or whatever, with too much bearing, and you submerge the bearing in too much oil, that would generate a significant amount of heat. So built into our pinion housing, again, it's patented. We're not going to go into too much detail about it, but we have an oil return path that when the level gets to a certain level, there's a way for the oil to get from this side of the bearings back into the main case. So it automatically controls the level of the oil in the pinion carrier to make sure that the bearings are not over-oiled, over-lubricated and generating too much heat.